Hello, I am Hemmet. Today I will explain how to solve the quadratic equation. Let me share the file with you. Quadratic equation, what is the quadratic equation? Quadratic equation is a polynomial equation in a single variable x. Its standard form is ax power 2 plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are real number, and also a cannot be equal 0. A is the coefficient of x power 2, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the numerical term. The quadratic equation is represented graphically by a parabola, upward parabola or downward parabola, as the figures show. Upward parabola if the value of a greater than 0. Downward parabola if a smaller than 0. How to solve the quadratic equation? You can solve the quadratic equation graphically or algebraically. If we will solve it graphically, then the solution of the quadratic equation will be the point of intersection between the x-axis and the parabola, as the figure shown. In this figure, there are two x-intercepts. Then this equation has two solutions or two roots. Roots means the solution. If the parabola upward or downward, that is not important for our solution. The solution depends on where the parabola intersects the x-axis. It intersects the x-axis in 2 points, then this equation has two solutions or two roots. If the parabola intersects the x-axis in 1 point, then it means this equation has only one solution or one root. If the graph does not intersect the x-axis in any point, this means there is no solution for this. There is no real solution for this quadratic equation. So we have 3 cases. First case, if the parabola intersects the x-axis in 2 points, then this equation has two real different solutions. If the parabola intersects the x-axis in 1 point, then this equation has only one solution. If the parabola does not intersect the x-axis in any point, then this equation has no real roots. For example, we want to solve each equation by graphing. X power 2 plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. This parabola, this equation will be represented by upward parabola because the coefficient of x power 2 is 1, then it's greater than 0, then the parabola will be upward. Okay, when we draw the parabola and find it intersects the x-axis at 2 points, -5 with 0 and 1 with 0. Then the roots of this equation, the roots mean the value of x. This parabola intersects the x-axis at -5 and 1. Then this equation has two different real roots or two different real solutions at x equal -5 and x equal 1. For b, -x power 2 plus 6x minus 9 equals 0. That means because the coefficient of x power 2 is -1, that means it represented by downward parabola as the figure here. After we draw it, we find that it intersects the x-axis at only 1 point, 3 and 0. Of course, because it intersects the x-axis at 3, then the value of y must be equal 0. So this equation has only one real root and one x-intercept, so its solution is x equal 3. Then try to solve this equation. X power 2 minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Try to solve this equation and tell me what is the solution. Thank you for your time.